What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, where we talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, Austin Creed. Let me adjust my microphone real fast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. So today, for those of you who don't know, today is actually the anniversary of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And I got a lot to say on that subject, I'll tell you that right now. So we're going to be going over not only what I think, we're going to be going over the statistics. We're going to be going over the raw data because numbers don't lie. So, before we do, though, I will let you know up front, for those of you who are new, I ask a lot of questions throughout this show. I ask a lot of maybe incendiary questions, things people might not want put out there on the air. You know, if you're a government agent, you're probably going to be like, whoa, he can't say that. Oh, no, he can't say that. It's not acceptable. I didn't approve it. Well, if you're a government hack and you use that kind of language, you're not an American and you should be deported. But nonetheless, to let your voice be heard on this or any other topic you want, leave your thoughts in the comment section of the video if you're watching it on video, whether it's YouTube or Rumble, or feel free to hit me up on Twitter at Austin Creed. Go over there, follow me, get to look at the tweets I send out. You can hit me up, ask me questions, whatever it is you want to know, because the more people who interact, the more voices can be heard, the happier man I'll be, and the better the world will be as far as I'm concerned. But today we're talking about Roe versus Wade, the aftermath. 1 year later, today, June 24th, 2023, is a 1 year anniversary of the overturn of Roe v. Wade. And I can't help but notice Barack Obama put on Twitter how it was a horrible tragedy and it shouldn't be allowed, and so many people are denied access to health care, and it's so bad, and you can tell I'm really upset about it. Yeah, that was kind of his whole shtick, was basically the pandering, I care so much about abortion, and I care a lot about, infanticide. Oh, I meant abortion. We were talking about infanticide. Oh, wait, no, abortion. I'm sorry. I often get the two confused. My apologies. But for those of you who don't know the numbers and you think that no abortion is happening at all, I'm here to tell you that's false, because I live in California. Abortions be through the roof, and it's even worse. In fact, watch this. I'm going to pull up the data. Give me 1 second. I pulled it up. ABC News. Oh, this is reprehensible. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. This is disgusting. My thing. Okay, here we go. Look at this. Abortion access in the United States. Look at this. Look at this. Now, this is from ABC News. For those of you who are not watching, they have it labeled. So, let's see. There's up to 6 weeks ban. The South, pretty much, as you would suspect. Up to 20 weeks or later, we got most of the blue states. No restricted basis. So basically, no restriction on abortion at all. Colorado, New Mexico, Alaska. Wow. DC, Vermont, New Jersey. Wow, look at that. My friends, this is no laughing matter. These are human beings whose lives are being destroyed to cover up people's sexual deviancy, as far as I'm concerned. Look, I'm going to head over to this. Let me ask you something. Do you believe, I'm about to read from the Time magazine. First of all, this is the same Time magazine who literally did an entire piece on, what is his name? The guy, Zelensky. And how he was so brave. He was the man of the year. He's such an amazing man. He's just as good as Winston Churchill, George Washington, and Mahatma Gandhi combined. And he is just the man of the year. Now, we're going to put aside the fact that, in my opinion, this man has sent the whole war based on his own ego, as far as I'm concerned. He doesn't give a rat's behind about his people, and I'll tell you why. If he cares so much about the people, why are his people leaving in droves? Why are the young men leaving because they don't want to die in his war? Why are the women and children leaving? And I don't think they're ever going to want to come back. And now you need to keep in mind here for 1 second I know I'm getting sidetracked, but you got to keep in mind that Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe and basically of the world. Who's going to pull the crops? Those crops don't exist anymore. And if they do, they're going to go bad. There's nobody there to harvest them. So we're going to have a huge wheat shortage, huge food shortage coming up here not long from now, coming to a neighborhood near you, thanks to the lack of diplomacy from the United States, and thanks to the stupidity of the drunk, deviant comedian named Zelensky, named Vladimir Zelensky, that bum, that mook, that schmuck. Now, back to our topic at hand. We're talking about Roe versus Wade today on the show. According to the same Time magazine, who did a puff piece for that lowlife in Ukraine, they have the nerve to put out this headline that says, legal abortions down by 96% in states, with most restrictions since the end of Roe. Now, you would read that and you'd think, oh wow, look at that, abortions are going down. But they're so clever. They are so clever that they trick you into thinking that it's actually less. In some states where they pretty much banned it, yes, it will be lower. But there are multiple states where it's worse than it was under Roe. Worse. In fact, I'll pull up the map here in just a minute. But they have the nerve to make you believe that the Roe versus Wade oh, look who's on the screen. Karine Jean-Pierre. That mook. Ugh. Look at this piece of work right here. I can't believe oh, get her off my screen. Get off my screen, you fraud. I don't want to, I'm not even going to unmute that. That's, no, unacceptable. I don't want anything she has to say going on my show. How's that? She's just, look, every single one of them, when they work for the president, they have to be on their team to an extent, okay? But when you have someone who's just such a skilled fork-tongued liar, in my opinion, like Jean-Pierre is, it's disgusting, and I'm not going to listen to it. If you want to listen to it, do it on your own. Do it after you watch this. I'm not going to play it. According to Time magazine, the average number of terminations, what a very benign way of putting the death of a human life. The average number of terminations from July through December was 77,073, a 7% drop from the average in April and May, according to a Tuesday report from the Society of Family Planning. I don't know who they are. I'll have to look them up. I don't know who they are. And the states with the strictest regulations, that would be Alabama, Arkansas, Idaho, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. There were 265 abortions per month on average from July to December. That's a 96% drop from April to May. Okay. Let's see. How many states is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. What about the rest of the states? What about states like California, Colorado, New York? I could go on. What about those states where the abortion rates have gone through the roof? And not only that, it's at almost up until birth. That's how bad it's gotten. They didn't allow that under Roe, but now they do. And they want to make it pretend like all these people are suffering. Look, I will state my attention. I will state my belief on abortion right now. I believe that abortion is okay when the life of the mother is at risk. Other than that, you're gonna to compensate for you're gonna have an abortion because you chose to do some dumb crap. Look, I understand why people want to do it. I get it. It's not convenient for you. It doesn't work into your schedule and you don't like it. Well, let me tell you something. That life didn't have to be created, and you have the nerve to rob it of the one gift you're going to give it, which is life. Because make no mistake about it. Life is a gift. And so the one gift that you're going to give, that God gave to them, not you, you're going to take that away from them because it's not convenient for you. Is that it? Okay. I see. Look, if you look at the Democrats or the left-wing pinkos on Twitter, and you look at the things they've said today about abortion and how it was a horrible tragedy and how it shouldn't have happened and how they're going to change it if they can and this, that, and the other thing. Let's get something straight. Before this became a federal issue, it was already a state issue. Same thing with gay marriage, same thing with contraceptives, same thing with literally every single case when it comes to this type of high profile issue. It was first a state issue, and then the Supreme Court said, you know what? It's so important, we're going to make a choice about it. Okay? They decided to take a case to then set the precedent on what they're going to rule going forward. Now, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong. In fact, it should have been with the states the whole time. It's a state level issue. The Fed is taking too much power from the states. For those of you who don't know about the levels of power when it comes to the U.S. government, the Fed shares with the states. That was the whole point. The states didn't want to lose their power to the Fed because they did not want a king to rise. Now you need to keep in mind this was written back by the founding fathers. I know, founding fathers, you fell asleep already, but hang with me for a second. They wanted to make sure that the tyranny they fled from in Great Britain did not reappear in their new utopia named America. They didn't want it. So what did they do? They put limits on the Fed, and they made sure that there was checks and balances that went in multiple directions. Not only were there checks and balances at the Fed, there were also amongst the states. And the Fed, for too long, in my opinion, has stolen power from the states and robbed them of their duty and just taken away their freedom to make their own choices. And if you don't like it, move to another state. That is what the states are supposed to be. Different pockets of the country that different people live in, but they make sure that everybody is represented. That's the whole point. And they act like this is a bad thing. Oh, how dare you provide people with more choice? How dare you allow people to actually vote on something instead of ruling from the bench? How dare you say that you can't do this? How dare you let the Fed just not rule your life? How dare you? Am I wrong in that? Does anybody disagree? I would love to hear it. Because the whole thing, in my opinion, stinks to high heaven. Now, I want to move on here to the Hill. And I want to read for you the states. Hold on, let me share the screen. I want to share for you the states that saw the biggest increase in abortions after the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Now, here we go. North Carolina. It says, between April and August of 22, North Carolina saw a 37% increase in abortions despite the estimated number of procedures carried out in the South Atlantic region declining during this time. Wow, look at that. So North Carolina. Kansas, if you can believe it. Abortions in Kansas rose by 36% between April and August of last year. The procedure is banned after 22 weeks in the state. It says its borders with Oklahoma and Missouri, like I said before, like the Times magazine pointed out, the numbers are down. Because those two states where the practice is punishable by a felony, that's right, and its proximity to Texas and other restrictive states have led to the increase in demand within the state. So in other words, skeezers and lowlifes are going from Oklahoma, Missouri, and Texas up to Kansas to get an abortion. The states like Kansas, North Carolina, California, New York, New Jersey, those states are becoming like a mecca for abortions. People are traveling there far and wide to get an abortion. Next case, Colorado. Big shock. Cue the collective gasp. Colorado? You mean the high state, the mile high state? In more ways than one? I've been to Colorado. I was stationed in Cheyenne, not far from Fort Collins and Denver. I know how many people get high, for God's sakes, okay? Abortion rate up 33% in the last year. Wow, look at that. You don't say. Okay. Says the procedure is banned after 15 weeks. Wow. Okay. Montana and Nebraska each saw a rise in 30, not 13, 30% in total abortions administered in the state. That's crazy. 30% is banned after 22 weeks. Wow. That's so late. Oh my land. Illinois. Wow, you mean the state that's really just Chicago and one horse towns everywhere else? 28% increase in abortions. Big shock. It says Illinois is the only state in the Midwest to have quote unquote protective abortion policies. The procedure is banned after fetal viability. In other words, after it's born, which is between 24 to 26 weeks. In other words, basically when it's able to actually live on its own, it can actually, you can't off it. You can't off it if it can actually live. So, oh my goodness. Oh, and the state's Medicare covers it. Oh, wow. So all the welfare recipients can also get an abortion. Wow, look at that. How generous of them. My friends, I have to make light of this. This makes me want to puke. This makes me sick to my stomach. Look, this makes me sick. And the Democrats would have you believe that all of them are forced to be giving birth and there's no abortion. It's all illegal everywhere and everyone's suffering and it's so horrible. No, it's not that way at all. No, it's not. In fact, a lot of companies, you may not know this, a lot of companies are making it very easy they're paying you to go to a different state to get an abortion. They're allowing you to do that now. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. You didn't hear about that, did you? Companies like Disney, Starbucks. Oh, yeah. You didn't hear about that, did you? But you heard it here on the Sheep Get Sheared podcast today. My friends, Roe v. Wade 1 year later, it's just as bad, if not worse, because the people who would have gotten abortions are just leaving the state to go get another abortion. It didn't fix the issue per se. All it did was cost us the midterms. That's all it did. And they'd have you believe that that's the exact opposite, the political game that's being played every day of the week. It's unbelievable. But, I mean, I'm not shocked by this. Are you? Are you shocked by any of this? You shouldn't be if you're paying attention. If you're not paying attention, well, then you're a sheep and you're getting sheared in plain English. And if you don't like it, write the FCC. See if I care. Report me. See if I care. My friends, this is no laughing matter, but at the same time, what you're probably asking, what can you do about it? Or maybe you're thinking, Austin, there's something I can do about it. So what difference does it make? Well, number one, be safe. Be safe, number one. And number two, there's a lot of pro-life going on, actually, which I'm very happy to see, by the way. And it makes me happy to see that people actually care, especially women. Look, ladies, y'all are the ones whose opinions matter more than us men. I gotta tell you, I hate to admit this, but it's the truth. No matter what I say, people are gonna immediately discount me because I was born with a schmendrick and not a vulva. At the end of the day, that's the way it goes. People think that because I'm a man, my opinion does not hold weight in this discussion. But ladies, I gotta give y'all a shout out. You're doing a great job with leading the effort on this. The conservative ladies in the audience, the libertarians in the audience, you're doing a good job. True liberals, not the phony progressives, you're doing a good job. You're the ones who have to spearhead this movement. I could talk into this microphone all day and all night, but at the end of the day, coming from you, it's going to go farther than coming from me. I'm still going to do it, but you got to do your part too, because otherwise, we're going to be stuck in the same situation again, where it's us so-called uneducated white men who are going to be sitting out here telling you the way it is, while everybody else is gaslighting us and lying about us. Ladies, y'all got to spearhead this, because if you don't, We can't, as much as I would love to do it, my opinion, like I said, does not hold the weight that yours does. So you're going to have to be the ones carrying this one. This is on you. They might listen to you, because they're not going to listen to me. We need to bring morality back to America. We need to bring morality back to the culture. We need to bring God back. Yeah, I said it. America was a different place when God was in the schools, when God was in the discussion around the dinner table, when God was actually in the culture, not just some, whatever mystical hoo-ha that you see today with astrology and other BS. What are your thoughts on abortion a year after it's been overturned? I want to hear it. Leave your thoughts, comments, concerns, criticisms, whatever, in the comment section, or hit me up on Twitter. Follow me at Austin Creed. Leave it over there. Hit me in the DMs. I'd love to hear about it. Or tag me in a tweet if you want to make your own tweet about it. It's up to you. And anyways, till next time, my friends, it's been Austin Creed, Sheep Get Sheared Podcast. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless this beautiful country called the United States of America. We're out of here. Have a great weekend. Have a great time at church tomorrow. Peace. We're out of here.